All right, crypto fans, Jason here, TCP Super System. I'm not going to ask you to like, share, subscribe. I'm going to ask you to go look at the latest shorts and videos. And when you see that it's proven, then I'm going to ask you to like, share, and subscribe. Because this channel is truly something that has something original that no one else can give you. I created this system over 2 to 3 years. No one else has it. It's not publicly available through TradingView, but I do share this for free for informational and educational purposes only. I'm not an advisor. It's not financial advice or recommendations to buy or sell. But what the system does, and what I'm about to show you again, is the ability to identify opportunity zones in cryptos and equities. Um, and I produce shorts and long form videos almost every day, and you can confirm for yourself that what we've recently been stating is basically coming to fruition. So on the screen, you see Solana. Go back and look at the short just from this today. I told you things were looking weak, and I'll even pull up the liquidation maps for Solana to kind of help paint the picture for you. Where's Solana on here? Let me find it. Where's it? I passed it. Sorry. Let's see. I don't see Solana. I don't see Solana. Where'd it go? They got I don't know what solution. That's not what I'm looking for. They don't have it on here now. That's interesting. Huh. Interesting. Well, what I can tell you is the highest amounts of leverage that we've seen on Solana currently is down here at this 190 to 195 level. That's what this green rectangle is. It's the opportunity zone for us. And I told you earlier that if this support here at 207 doesn't hold, that's almost 207.51. We're trading at 207.73 and dropping. So we're right at that support. Standard deviation is looking weak. That white line, is still down here in the extremes. We've penetrated down below that red zone in the standard deviation methodologies. That's weakness. You've got a crossover of the midline again on the hot sensor. Midterm and long term are getting weaker and driving toward the midline. All that's weakness. Um, like I said, I think there is ETFs coming for Solana as well as XRP. So this is just the first opportunity zone that we would see for Solana here between 190 and 195. It looks like it is driving that way. If you go back and look at some of the videos, probably the last 2 weeks maybe, we got out at 240. And we told you that. So you can see where we got out, basically the very top almost, maybe a few dollars off. And we had said we would likely drop to these levels. So go check for yourself. Videos don't lie. But after 190 to 195, if that fails, which there's not much leverage after that, or much at a much lower level than that, but it could drop down here to these support lines, which would be basically 185, and then ultimately somewhere between 166 and 170, which I personally wouldn't see that happening, but definitely if this green zone and lower, fantastic opportunity zone. Of course, that's my interpretation of the system and the signals and how I use it. It's not recommendations for you to do the same. My actions may not be suitable for you, but I do like to share what we are thinking based on the system that I created, and hopefully you find some value in that. Um, yeah, so Solana again, it's hanging in there. It's 20 back to 208, so it's going to be an interesting night. Of course, a lot of action happens overnight, which kind of stinks for the U.S. base, but we'll see if it holds or not. just doesn't look like it will based on what I'm seeing here and what this has historically meant in the past. But, we'll see how it turns out tonight. So that's Solana. Again, we're targeting 190 to 195 from our portfolio. So we'll see what happens. And we will keep you informed as we go throughout the week. We'll take a look at a few more tonight. XRP we always look at. And again, the short I put out today after 5 o'clock Central Time was, we told you that it needed to go and stay above 298. It made it to 299, but did not hold it, and it fell back to like 293. And then what do you know? We're heading down, currently at 290. And if that breaks, my thought process there is we could probably see some double leverage, like a double bottom here for leverage liquidations. So that was again that 260 to 270 mark. Or basically the 270 mark is what we called a couple of days ago before it hit down there. So we might can see that again. But again, there are a multitude of spot ETFs coming for our XRP, which should bring an enormous amount of demand, creating what I would consider a supply crunch at some point. It may not happen right away. Don't forget, Bitcoin ETFs came out. The price of Bitcoin actually dropped 2 weeks after. So pay attention. You might see a lot of people gearing up with leverage to anticipate those ETF decisions. It could create another opportunity to knock some leverage out before it really booms. So if you use leverage, be careful. I hope you know what you're doing, because it's amazing how these market makers and these other big players, it's amazing how it hits just perfectly and then it bounces straight back up immediately. One candle, done, right back up. So just be careful. So tonight again, it's going to be interesting for XRP as well. If it can, if it doesn't get back up there in that 298 range, then we could see some weakness here. XRP standard deviations, again, it's earlier in the short, we mentioned that it was coming back up into this green opportunity zone, but it looks like it's not maintaining that or sustaining that. And the blue line is now coming down below the red zone, which is not where we want to be. We want that white line up here in these extremes on the upper side to really drive what we have seen as price appreciation. And what you're seeing now, we're getting a print here on, again, today's September 24th, 25. That is in our system, that is a confirmed downtrend signal. Now, we don't ever just trade on the yellow signals on this system, because in sideways markets, you can get a lot of, flip-flopping between up and down. So we usually leverage that as just like a signal to then determine which way we might see this thing going based on these other components. Again, looking at XRP hot sensors, the short term is on that bottom of that midline. It's in the level 0 of 6 levels, or basically level 0 is level 1, but level 0 to level 5. So 6 levels. This is the first level. So normalized, I would say. So certainly not extreme in either way. But again, we're looking for orange and red on either the bottom side or the top side. And again, the medium term and long term, blue to gray is getting weaker. Gray to white's getting weaker. They're driving toward the midline. It's all showing as weakness. Again, for XRP, we do have some support here at 285 basically. So if it can hold 285, break 298, then we're probably off and running up to the ETFs. If it does not hold 285, likely going down to, again, 260 to 270, or possibly the 200-day moving average, which would be glorious at 255 to 260. So that would be awesome. Again, we're probably in the 1 to 1.5% of all XRP holders for transparency. We do not sell. We do add to the bags based on the opportunity zones that we identify. Yeah, so XRP at 290 right now. we'll see where we land in the morning. Then let's check near. Near is one we put a good chunk in at 282 at that green line. That's where we entered. Again, you can see we're up just a little bit here. Not quite, what, 18 cents. So not even 10% yet. But again, near. White line is driving things down, but we are still up in the extremes. So that's okay. We are in an uptrend. We are above the cloud, so that's barely, which is okay. But again, these things are they're on all three of the hot sensors are above the midline, which is positive, but they are getting weaker. So we got to watch this. If we break below the bottom of that cloud, it could be bad news. So we'll see where we go. But near's been holding steady here the last couple of days, so we'll see where that lands up. Let's see what else we have. Oh, Cleanspark. We told you the other day. Go look. I think we released a short or long form video. I'm not sure which one it was, but we were on this candle yesterday, and we said we probably thought that was just a little short retracement based on the fact that this is only in the yellow on these hot sensors, and that we had compared that to bit farms, and that we were in this uptrend, and you want to try to stay in that as long as you can, especially when it's green or those price candles are above the cloud, and this is up here in the extremes. Well, what do you notice? The blue and orange lines are driving higher, which is exactly what we mentioned yesterday, and then we're getting the price appreciation again, and we hit 15 again today, and it kind of retraced a little bit, so that's a little concerning there. But again, as long as these blue and orange lines are up above these extremes, I'm going to hold steady here. Again, we're in at 1026 here, based on what we communicated with our community. So we're watching that. So clearly we're up pretty nicely on that one, sitting at 1445 now. And I believe after market today, it was actually up again. Of course, you don't see that now, but so that's Cleanspark, near XRP, Solana. Let's see what else we got. Let's look at Ethereum, and here we go. It's too easy, folks. And again, you're not going to get this anywhere else. This is my unique original system. So a lot of TA folks out there spitting the MACDs and the RSIs, which are just basic technical analysis. This is something that I formed over 2 to 3 years with a combination of things that I use to trade for my own portfolio that is extremely effective. That doesn't mean it's always going to be effective. I'm not going to win 100%, but I do win a lot. And you can see here, and we mentioned this, you can see the scam wick the other day when it liquidated all this leverage here. The bright green is obviously the heaviest areas of leverage, and it popped all the way down to the very bottom, really. 4,000 is what we would see here as the bottom, and I think we may see that again because there's a little bit of leverage down here. And I think we're getting close now, 4,122. So it did pop back. It was getting close to 4,000 a minute ago. So based on this, I mean, maybe we could see 3,800, possibly. This is looking really weak. So here, on the long term, we were in the extreme zone here on the long term hot sensor, and it's getting weaker, obviously going to orange. Same thing on the midterm, blue to gray. Short term is crossed over and it's white. So I mean, that's all showing signs of weakness. The orange has now come down into the lower extremes with the white. So yeah, that's not looking too good. And what you might be seeing here is people liquidating their ETF funds, preparing for the XRP funds. So watch that carefully. That's what we would probably imagine would happen given the potential higher ROI for XRP here with what, 10 to 17 ETFs pending. That's wild. So, and there's one big ETF that's yet to be seen. Is BlackRock coming? I would bet they are. but we don't know. So yes, there's Ethereum, and we'll take a look at Bitcoin. Now Bitcoin has got to the point now with its price appreciation that we don't really get the frequency of signals like we used to. So we do watch it. We do own Bitcoin, but again, we can watch the leverage levels there, but long term, we don't ever sell Bitcoin. We'll take some profits and add to it and continue building those bags. I mean, if you look at some of the experts out there, they're calling for 10 million plus on a Bitcoin in the years to come. So that's just will continue to be a unique opportunity for those that have been around for a while. So that's it for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We told you we would bring you a long form video. Again, just go look for yourself. I don't have to sell you. The system will sell itself. If you find value in what we've been saying and interpreting from it, please like, share, subscribe. I do this because I want to, not because I have to, and I just want to share the same logic and rationale that I've been able to use and glean from this and share that with my community. So, love you all. Appreciate you for tuning in, and we will see you in the next one. Have a good Wednesday. We'll see you.